Imagine for a moment you are one of the society committee members of residential society. You have worked very hard to solve issues of your society members. Despite of that, society members keep on complaining about small issues which can be overlooked. How would you feel? Of course, you will feel demoralized. Same thing happens when you complain to others. Others feel demoralized. Like habit of smoking, habit of complaining is indeed a very bad habit. Like smoking affects both smokers as well as people who sit with them. Similarly, complaining affects both listener as well as speakers. It demoralizes both. Let's see what researchers says about this habit of complaining. One of the psychologists of Columbia University, Dr. Laura Markham, she said that in a day, person 30 times he or she complains. Means every day person invests 30 minutes to 1 hour in complaining. What a wastage of time. Second, we all are aware about the social implication of complaining. That person who complains a lot, people perceive him or her as negative person. But what about the physical implication? Researchers says that repeated complaint damages brain neuron. Repeated complaint elevates cortisol level, which increases blood glucose, blood pressure, and ultimately impacts the immunity. Our repeated complaining habit impacts our physical health. I am not saying one should not complain. When something happening which is worth complaining, like something which is against the law of the land, or some unethical thing is happening, one should complain. But most of the time it has been observed people complain out of their habit of complaining. People are tempted to invest their time and energy on the things which are not in their control, rather than which are not in their control, rather than they invest their time and energy on the things which are in their control. What a wastage of energy and time. Because of that, people are unable to think creative and productive. I remember when I was in college during post-graduation, I, along with some of the classmates, we were nominated for panel discussion. Eventually, we reached to the final in inter-college panel discussion. In one of the round of that inter-college panel discussion, they had shown us some audio-video clip, and we were required to discuss on the same. I noticed that audio quality of that AV was not clear. So instead of focusing on content of discussion, I started focusing on the audio quality. Not only that, I started complaining about the audio quality during live event. After few rounds, we lost that panel discussion, and in one of the closing remark of one of the judge, he has said he has had his displeasure over my conduct. He got loud applause. I learned a very important lesson on that day, that I must focus on the things which are in my control. I must not focus on the things which is not in my control. And one of the famous proverbs says about the complaining is that that when person complains, he tells other people that how weak he or she is. Think about it. Whenever next time you are tempted to complain, ask question to yourself. That is it worth complaining? Is it required? You might feel instead of sharing gratitude, rather than sharing complaints. I wish you will. With this, I am Sanket Kanabar, taking exit until I take entry with my next video.